Hi, I'm Chloe, and today we are going to look at a pose called Akarna Dhanurasana, which is archer's pose. So again, we are in Sagittarius season right now, and so looking at Sagittarian linked pose because it is the archer's pose, and Sagittarius is the constellation of the archer in the sky. So we're going to be looking at flexing our hamstrings, opening our hips, opening up this lower back area, our core and our shoulders, as we are going to be attempting to move back a little bit so you can see that clearly. Reach our toes with our legs out straight, lift a leg and bring it up towards the ear. So you can see how all those areas of the body are working. I'm going to do a bit of a warm up, and there will be some options for modifying that, simplifying it, maybe using a strap there as well. When you're ready, we're going to get started. So we're going to start supine, so laying on our backs for this warm up. So just find your way down onto your backs, however you would like to do that comfortably. And when you're ready, we're just going to take the feet a little bit wider than the hips, flatten those palms down to the ground and sort of push into the ground a little bit. Then just allow the hips, the knees to fall in one after another, window wipering, opening those hips. Lovely. Then we're going to bring the feet together, knees still bent, and we're going to just take a knee, grab that knee and rotate it around and switch directions. Then we're going to straighten that leg up towards the sky and just rub the back of the hamstring, bending and straightening that knee while we rub the back of that leg, just physically putting some warmth into that hamstring. Then maybe see if you can reach your toe, or just reach your fingers towards the toe and sort of pulse that leg towards those hands, or if you can reach the toe and wrap your peace fingers around it, maybe you can sort of pulse the leg towards you a little bit there, or you can just carry on rubbing and kicking and bending. You can do exactly the same thing on the opposite side, so grabbing that knee, rotating it round, going in the other direction, and straightening that foot up towards the sky, rubbing that hamstring. While we kick that leg up and down. And then reaching for the foot again, seeing if you can grab it with the peace fingers, just sort of pulsing it gently towards yourself. Nothing major, just waking up that hamstring, making us aware of it. Lovely. Now, take both feet up to the sky, bend the knees, open the arms out. I'm just going to come away from the wall a little bit, as I don't have room to open my arms out fully. And we're going to bend the knees in towards the chest, and whichever direction, to allow the knees to fall to one side. Option to prop a cushion under these knees, or a block here, if you find the knees are not falling all the way down and they need a little bit of support there. Option to look down the other arm, or head can remain looking towards the ceiling or sky, depending on where you are. Bringing those knees back and switching them over. Remembering any options here. You should feel a nice stretch up this lower back muscle here. Lovely, just opening that area up and opening the sides of the hips up. Bringing those knees back to centre and placing the feet down the mat. Actually, maybe we'll have a little ankle roll while we're here. Roll the ankles around in each direction. Like we're drawing circles with our toes. Lovely. Now place them down. Just roll onto your side and come up to seated. Now we're going to come onto our knees and extend one leg out to the side. Planting the foot down on the mat, can be up on fingertips here, can also be up on blocks here, on different settings, up to you. Otherwise, on your hands, and we're just going to sway back and forth, lowering and raising those hips up. Maybe you'd like to roll that foot up onto the heel here as you sit down and feel a little bit more of a stretch down that hamstring. Lovely. Now, raising the torso up. So we have one leg sticking out and we're resting on the knee. Allowing that foot to plant back down onto the ground, facing towards the long edge of the mat. We're going to take the opposite arm to whichever leg is extended and just open up that side body. This hand is resting lightly on the thigh. Lovely. And then we're going to switch directions. So this hand that went up before comes down and rests beside the knee, and we open the opposite side body. Take a few breaths, breathe in, and exhale. Come back to centre. Now we're just going to switch that leg over so you can bend the straight leg's knee and come up onto that knee as we do on the other side, extending the opposite leg out straight. Lovely. And we're going to do those movements again on this side. So shifting back and forth, remembering any options here, maybe coming up onto that heel, shifting the hips forward and back, awakening that hamstring. Lovely. And raising the torso back up, and we're going to do those side bends. So resting the hand on the inner thigh of the extended leg, I'm going to take one hand over the head towards those toes and switch it up. Hands going the opposite way to the extended leg this time, opening the opposite side of the body, taking some nice deep breaths here and coming back to centre. Fab. Now we're going to just windmill the arms down to the mat and turn the hips down towards the mat and slide the foot forward until we are kneeling in a tabletop position. Wrists are stacked under the shoulders, knees are stacked under the hips and knees are hip distance apart. Nice flat back. We're just going to take awaken that abdominal area now, as well as our legs. So bending one knee up and bringing it up towards the armpit or the elbow. then kicking it back. So flexing that foot as you kick back. And so as we inhale, inhale, the legs going back, and as we exhale, the legs crunching in. So crunch, kick, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. I'm going to do 3 more. I think that was 3, and then you're going to switch sides. So crunch, kick, three more. 1, 2, 3. Lovely. Now I'm just going to sit back, flex those toes, and sit back onto the heels. Putting your buttocks onto your heels in a kneeling position. I'm just going to circle one arm back and bring it around again, and do it the other side. Circling arm behind, bring it forward. And if you have a strap, just going to open those shoulders with the strap. You've probably seen this in other videos if you've watched any of my videos before. Wrapping a strap, long piece of fabric, dressing gown, cord, belt, around the hands, making it nice and taut. Inhaling it up, exhaling the arms behind. Exhaling, inhaling the arms up, exhaling them forward. Opening those shoulders. Two more. And meet me back on your knees, coming forward, drumming out those feet. Pushing those hips up towards the sky, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, or down dog. Maybe have a soft dip in the knees here, and then just walk those feet, coming up onto the balls, and then trying to push the heels down as much as possible while you sway the hips. Walk in that dog. Begin to walk the feet up towards the hands. Option to have some blocks here, coming into a deep forward fold. Those blocks will just bring that ground up for you, otherwise hands come to mat. Now, stepping those feet as wide as the mat, or slightly hip distance apart. We're going to grasp hold of the elbows, and in that deep forward fold with the legs wide, we're just going to hang and sway in a ragdoll, really awakening those hamstrings. Lovely. Now, bring your hands back to your blocks or the mat, and with the legs and feet still in the same width position, we're just going to bring the bottom down towards the ground and then shoot it back up. So as we come down, the knees bend, and as they straighten, we push the bottom up to the sky. So we can be up on our fingertips here as well to have a little bit more space. And as you bend the knees, maybe you come up onto the balls of the feet, and then send those heels down as you straighten the legs, if that's more comfortable. And it adds a little bit more bounce. And we're just going to do a few repetitions of this, bouncing like a little hopping frog, bending and straightening, opening those hips, firing up those quads, awakening those ankles and feet. Lovely. And then allow the bottom to sit back down onto the mat. Okay. So straightening the legs out in front of you. It's okay to have a soft bend here as well. I'm just going to shuffle back so you can see a little bit better. So you could also put a towel or a cushion under here for a little bit of support there if your hamstrings are a bit tight. We are going to look at coming into that Akarna Dhanurasana now. So there's a few ways that we can do this, making sure where we are seated, we've got a nice straight spine in a sort of staff position. Taking some deep breaths, switching on those quads, flexing the feet, engaging the core, making sure we have that nice straight back. Now, reaching forward for the toes. So notice I'm hinging at the hips to reach the toes and travel the torso forward, then reaching for my toes. I'm not keeping my torso still and reaching with my shoulders for my toes. As you can see, I can't reach them when I do that, but I can reach them when I shift the torso forward with a straight back. So just see if you can reach the toes. Maybe you come to the knees or the shins. Just see where you come to. And if you can reach the toes, get your piece fingers and wrap them around those big toes. Don't worry if this isn't working for you yet, because I will show you some other versions of this. When you're ready, you're going to try and lift one leg up off the mat. Really engage that core as you lift it. Then start to bend the knee, really flexing through this opposite leg and foot. And then guiding that foot back towards the ear. And putting it down and switching sides. Inhaling that leg up, bending as we pull back. Imagining we're firing an arrow with the foot that's raised. And send it back down. Lovely. So, if you find that you are grasping at the shin or the knee, just bend the opposite leg and grasp where you can reach to on the straight leg. Then try grabbing the outer blade of the foot, so this edge of the foot, and bending the knee up towards the armpit. And this can be your archer. Fantastic. If you would still like to, you can try and pull that knee back further from this bent and raised position, pulling it back like so. And this can be your archer. Just going to show you on the other side. So grasping the shin, taking the outer edge of the foot. Oops, sorry, so I started with a bent knee on this side, didn't I? Grasping the foot, raising the foot, and seeing if I can pull it back a little more from there. Lovely. Also, option for straps. You can make a loop in at the end of your strap or your piece of fabric, or you can simply get the piece of fabric and loop it round by the middle of the strap. And you can grab hold of your shin and lift your leg up like this, keeping a nice straight back without having to reach forward. And then see if you can bend the knee here. Or you could loop the strap this way, or with a little pre-put in loop around that foot, and keep this leg straight, bend the knee, and pull back as we did in the prior version by grasping the foot. So there's a few things you can play with there as well. Just going to show you the other side. So looping that strap around, bending the knee, grasping outer edge of the foot, and bringing that knee towards the armpit. And again, you can catch that foot with the strap, hold onto the shin, lift the leg up like this, hoist it with the strap like a winch system, and then pull it back towards the ear. Play around with your grip on the strap as well. As long as it's nice and taut, it should lever you. Lovely. If you found that it was still a lot of work getting with the hip mobility, getting the leg to pull back, I'm going to face the camera for this one, you could come into a cradle first. So legs out in front, take one foot, guide it towards the pelvis and allow the knee to bend out. Then allow this opposite knee to bend and keep the foot on the ground. Now try and pick up the foot and grab hold of the knee or the shin and bend the knee towards you as if you're like crossing your leg but in the air. Bring that foot up towards the opposite shoulder and rock it from side to side in your Dhanurasana. You can also try that with the leg straight out in front. It's more similar to what we've been doing. And then just switch sides and it can just really warm up and open that hip prior to coming in to that Akarna Dhanurasana, into that archer's pose. So on the opposite side, again, legs out straight, guide one foot towards the pelvis, bend the other leg so the knee's up towards the sky, grab the foot, grab the shin or the knee, and begin to swing and rock that knee and that shin as if you're rocking a baby. You can try it with the legs straight also. Keeping a nice straight spine as you do this, so you're not hunching forward and doing it really low. Nice straight spine always in yoga, unless you're doing back bend. I'm just going to spin those legs out in front. Now I'm going to bend my knees, scooch my bum forward, come down onto my forearms and roll back and just relax. And congratulate yourself. And you can take any position of comfort here to rest in. Maybe knock the knees together. Maybe raise the arms up overhead and stretch that chest open. Now I'm going to roll back up. You can stay wherever you would like to. And I'd like to thank you for joining me in this walk through Akarna Dhanurasana. Thank you. Namaste.